if you guys are ready, go ahead and pop up that picture we have with our camera. Eric, we now have, I think, the Mobile Weather Service site on a radar. Okay, there it is right there, and we're getting, this is kind of a fuzzy depiction, but what we are seeing now, you're right, the eye looks like it's about central Hancock County. Eye wall extends out from the Harrison-Hancock County line all the way to the Jackson-Harrison County line, according to what I see. Do you confirm that?
Yeah, I sure do. And I got to tell you what, that eye wall is pretty nasty.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. It is.
He also said that, and again for the viewer as well, if you weren't able to hear him that well, that more than half of their, I think it's 190,000 customers at this moment, at least more than half, are without power.
Well, I'm impressed that half of them still have power, to be honest.
Well, maybe that's not,
Okay, now we want to kind of, we're talking about what's going on in our area, but I think it's time that we do address the folks in the inland areas. The coast is getting pounded right now. We've been concentrating on that. But you folks up in Stone County, Pearl River County, George County, and on to the north, keep in mind, if you're not seeing it now, you are going to see Category 2 at least. Most of the area, Category 3, we're talking about 115 plus miles per hour moving into your area. So the problem is going to spread inland.
Again, that's Ron Barnes. Mike, I guess you heard what we were talking about. He's saying that as far as they know, virtually all their customers are without power. That's about 70,000. Kurt Brodigan of Mississippi Power reporting at least more than half of their 190,000 customers are without power. Again, Ron Barnes also said that in a best case estimate, and we really kind of put him on the spot on this, because they haven't been out yet, but in a best case estimate, he's estimating 2 to 3 weeks to get people back online, probably more time if they've got a lot of devastation meaning power lines or telephone poles down.
Yeah, and just to give you an update on the information we were getting while you were there, this one kind of has me concerned. In Portal Bay subdivision off Lemoyne Road in St. Martin, evidently there are 4 people on a roof in life jackets. They cannot get through to 911. So Portal Bay subdivision, if anybody out there is in the rescue mode, and I don't think they are, this is a report we got. Portal Bay subdivision off Lemoyne Road in St. Martin. There evidently are 4 people on a roof in a life jacket, and they say they called and said they can't get through to 911. Evidently they could get through to us, but they can't get through to 911. This is what kind of amazes me. You know, we early on talked about, we brought the Camille word into play, and we said think of this as a Camille. I said last night, okay, let's back off of it a little bit and say this is a Betsy. But we're seeing that that's not true. This is definitely, aspects of this storm are Camille-like, and the flooding is more. We're getting reports that the flooding is more than Camille. And I always tell people when I talk to them, you have to realize the building down here, we have more concrete, more asphalt down here than we did in 1969. That causes more problems with flooding.
Basically, you know what I'm reminded of, Governor Barber? I'm reminded of a comment that was made by Joe Spraggins, our new Civil Defense Director, yesterday as this thing was approaching us. And he used the words devastating and catastrophic. His words were very accurate, to say the least. We are devastated. We have had some catastrophic damage down here. Governor, I'm sure you're aware of it, and I know that those people who can hear you are wondering, what can the state do for us? How can they do it? And how quickly can they do it?
Well, the first thing we're concerned about is the preservation of life. We worry that we have people who did not evacuate areas, who stayed in low-lying areas, and we worry about those. There is nothing right now local law enforcement or the National Guard or anybody can do. I mean, they can't go out in 100+ mile an hour winds in little boats or helicopters to try to find or rescue people. They just simply would result in a lot of them becoming casualties. But as soon as the weather gets past, we will begin search and rescue to try to go find people and get them to safety. And hopefully all of them will be in good shape that we can get them to safety. Then we'll worry about ice, water, food, shelter. Those are the next things. Then clearing the debris so that we can begin the rebuilding of the infrastructure, so that we can begin to get businesses back open where people can make a living. And then ultimately we will be working on the rebuilding of buildings, get the electricity back on. Mississippi Power Company and Coast Electric, that's a very critical thing. And as you see better than I, this is not a little small storm where we get all this done by Friday. We're going to have catastrophic damage on many levels.
Yeah, Governor, I would imagine one thing you'd advise people, and again, by golly, the state's going to do everything it can, as you just said, but people will have to be patient.
Well, people have to be patient on a number of levels, Jeff. First of all, don't go running out after this and get waist deep in water and get bit by a snake and die. Don't do stupid things. Don't walk through standing water when you don't know if there's a utility line underwater.
As we've been telling you, we're getting various phone calls in with various information.
Oh, wow.
This is the Greenbrier subdivision north of Canal Place in Gulfport. This particular family, don't have a name or whatever, had to swim out of their house, water 5 feet deep.
Right now, our source of information, folks, is this Dell laptop. Not doing a commercial for Dell, but that's what we're operating off right there. That is a laptop. We've zoomed out off that a little bit, guys, so we can show you, so we can show you what we're working with here. I don't think people appreciate it. Go out a little bit more. There it is. There's your handy dandy laptop. As a matter of fact, one of the things I'm going to recommend when we get through with this, based on what I've seen, is we need to have a laptop in the weather office that can get us online when we need to. All right, we're going to put some information. Those hands right there, that's the man. That's Joe. It's his. He's a Weather Central guy. He's keeping us up to date and keeping us informed. We're going to put up some new information. The good thing for us, and I don't know who else is on air as far as radio or anything else. Again, we can go on, like as you can see, we have a generator here. We have no power around the area, but we're still generating. Radio stations, unfortunately, do not have the resources. I'm not saying they all don't, but a lot of them don't. So they go down the minute the power goes down. So we're able to continue broadcasting, and people are watching us. So and that's good. And it's, like I said, it's getting a little bit primitive right now, but we want to keep you up to date. That's why we want the folks to call us, because now we're in the information mode as much as anything. We want to get the information we can, and any official that has any information that they want to pass on, especially if you have any word about getting anybody rescued, we would really like to know about that.